Hello, my name is Tom Stiles. This is Tom's Radio Room Show number 371. And what I have here is a Grundig YB-P designed by Porsche. I don't know what that means, but I guess they paid Porsche a few dollars to design the look and feel of the radio. And I got this a couple of days ago from a seller on YouTube. I got it for less than $30, including shipping. And when I first took it out of the box and looked at it, it looked like it had some scuff marks on it, and it looked like there were some slight scratches on the display. Well, this morning I finally got around and cleaned it up, and it cleaned up perfect. All that was just dirt, and the scratches were just dirt. They weren't actually real scratches. So it looks brand new. So I'm going to do a quick review of this radio, and I'm going to use my, let me back up here a little bit. Back up a little bit. And I'm going to use, out of the way here, my report card. So here we go. So the first thing on the report card is look and feel. And I guess I admit it doesn't look too bad. I guess I don't know how much they paid Porsche to design the thing as far as look and feel, but it looks pretty good. And it feels the keypad and the buttons, they feel good. They're not sloppy. It also came, this one came with the cover, which is hard. It's a cardboard backed cover, leather, and originally it looked pretty nice. It's got some scuffs on it, but it does a pretty good job of protecting the radio because it is hard, and it attaches via some buttons that just snap buttons, so it's easy to get off and on. And when you have the radio in here, you can fold this thing back and it becomes a little stand. So that's what it comes with. Originally, from what I read, is I get to knock it over as many times as I want to. What I read was it came with an AC adapter. This one did not. Not a big deal. So that's the look and feel. It's pretty hefty, so it's not in the plastic feels pretty good. It's not that chintzy looking plastic. So look and feel, I'm going to give it an A.
There is a message for you.
Okay, the next one is readability, and that includes both the display and the buttons, the writing on the buttons. And the writing on the buttons is very easy to read. It's black on silver, which is a good contrast. So they're easy to read even with my poor eyes. The display is kind of small, but it's kind of a small radio. Now, a little comparison. Here is a Texan, and this is the 450. It's got a fairly big display compared to this guy. So, and I like this display. It's got a good amber backlight. This one has kind of a green backlight, and there's only a light in one corner, so it doesn't do a very good job of providing a backlight. Let me turn one light off, and I'll hit the light button. And of course, and the other thing is you have to hold the light button down. And see, you can kind of see there's kind of a weak light. Now, I don't know what I don't know, of course, because this is used. It might actually have two lights, one on each side, and this one's burnt out. That could be the case. And in that case, it would illuminate it much better if it had another LED or a lamp over here. So that might be the case. Oops, I didn't mean to blind you there. So the look and feel, yeah, because of that display, although as far as reading the frequency and the time, it's okay because it's big letters. It doesn't give you a lot of information. It doesn't give you, I don't see any signal strength indicator. It's just the frequency, that's about it, and some other little icons that tells you the mode. So I'm going to have to knock it down to like a C. You know, compared to that Texan over there. Excuse me, I was away from the microphone. Compared to that Texan, it's a C as far as display. It's okay. Now the next one is on the report card is the power options. Like I say, the original package came with an AC adapter that plugs in here. This used one did not. It uses, here's the battery case down the bottom, uses 3 AAA batteries. A little bit difficult to install, but not a big deal. Just you have to be a little meticulous about installing it. So that's the power option. So you got the AC adapter that it normally comes with and AAA batteries. So I'm going to give it a B. Okay, tuning on this radio is done with a keypad, so it does have a keypad, so that helps. And then it has no tuning dial. You have to use these 2 buttons, which are marked, as far as lettering, they're marked H and M for setting the clock, and then it's an up arrow, a down arrow. So once you key in a frequency to search around, you have to use these buttons. So I give it a plus for the keypad not having the standard tuning dial. I give it a minus, so I'm knocking it down 1 grade. It does tune fairly smooth. The smallest increment on shortwave is 5 kilohertz though, so you don't get 1 kilohertz. So yeah, I'm going to give it a B. I'm almost tempted to give it a C, but you know me, I'm pretty generous. I'm going to give it a B. So that's tuning. Audio quality is okay. It's not superb. This little tiny speaker doesn't do a very good job. And if you turn the volume up, so you're listening to a weak station on shortwave, it tends to distort. Now, if you use the earphone jack and you use the earphone, it's not a problem. But speaker, I'm going to give it a C. It's only kind of mediocre. Okay, special features. It has an alarm. It, like I say, it does have the numeric keypad for dialing in the frequency. It does have this button so you can jump through the meter bands and jump to the beginning of each meter band and then fine tune it from there. So that's a nice little special feature. Has a mono stereo switch if you're listening to FM. So if you're listening to an FM station on the speaker, you can put this to mono and it kind of combines the left and right channel. This button up here is for selecting the bands. Oh, and I didn't mention the bands. I'll go back to that. The bands are FM, medium wave, shortwave 1, and shortwave 2. Now, on the back here, in very fine print, which I can't quite get in focus, but down here it tells you the bands, the frequency ranges. And it tells you that shortwave 1 goes from 2.3 to 7.4 megahertz. And shortwave 2 goes from 9.4 to 2610. And inside the battery compartment, it has a switch. It actually has two switches. But one of the switches is to select whether you want to just have the capability of tuning the meter bands and not in between, or if you want it to tune continuous and it will tune through the meter bands and those holes or gaps in between. Another thing that I should have mentioned about tuning is the tuning is not continuous, so you have these two bands you have to select. So if you're at 7.4 and you want to go to 10, you can't tune up to it. Now, as you can also note that it starts at 2.3 and goes to 7.4, and then there's a gap and it jumps over to 9.4, so there's a gap there, so you're missing part of the bands. Okay, so special features, I don't know, not too enthralled. I give it a B because it does have the keypad, and this is the telescopic antenna. It's not very long. This is a volume control, and that's about all the controls there are. So I'm going to give special features, I'm going to give it a B because it does have the keypad. So I'm going to give it a B. But I'm going to go back, and I gave it on tuning, I gave it a B. I'm going to knock that down to a C, and the reason being is you have to either choose the shortwave 1 or the shortwave 2. They're not all one continuous. So to me, that's a minus. So the next thing I would do, and I've done a very little bit of it, but the shortwave conditions for reception have been erratic. For a while they're good, and then they just, like somebody put a shield over my house and I can't pick up anything. So I can't really give you a grade yet on reception. We can just turn it on here for a second and see what we get. Let's extend. Now we're using the built-in antenna, and I'm in my office, so we're going to get some interference. So there's WWV at 10 megahertz, and it is coming in. A little noisy, but I can hear the ticks continuously. That's pretty good. Now, just as a reference, let me get this out of the way. I need to clean that antenna. It's a little dirty on the back side there. Okay. Let's turn the big guy on, and we'll tune to 10 megahertz. Loud and clear. Now, and it's almost full scale. But keep in mind that my Grundig 750 I was using there is using an external antenna. So I was just using it as a reference to see if that WWV was coming in and how strong using an external antenna. So, just as a sample of one, it seems to be okay as far as reception on shortwave. So I'm going to do a part 2, of course, which is the shortwave reception, and I'll do it when band conditions are better, and since it doesn't have an external antenna jack, so if you want to use an external antenna jack, you're going to have to clip it to this built-in whip antenna. Okay, that's the show for today. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and when we get to 3,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away that multimeter. So if you haven't entered the contest, all you have to do is send me an email to TRRS73@gmail.com and say you want to be in the contest for the multimeter, and tell me the state you live in, because it's restricted to continental USA due to exorbitant shipping cost. And that's all you have to do, and you should expect a reply back that you've been entered. If you don't get a reply back within a day or two, send me another one. Possibly it went to the wrong email address. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye.